Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANS Gear, and we're going to look at some tanks today. These are new tanks from GOG. These are 13 and a 26, right? 26? 13 and a 26 cubic inch bottle. They are 3,000 PSI bottles. They are DC or TC and DOT approved, so Department of Transportation and Transit Canada. They are both approved for use in either place. They are roughly, I'm going to say roughly, in a 13 cubic inch like this, you're going to get, I don't know, 150, 200 shots or so out of your guns. And then on a 26 like this, maybe 300, 350 to 450, I don't know. 500 is pushing it, but somewhere in there. So you're going to get a good amount of shots in a small, compact setup with compressed air. Now, most people are using these for their pistols. They're running a remote line off their paintball pistol, or they're using like a T15 or some sort of sniper style or AR style paintball rifle and using these bottles, or airsoft players are using them for their pneumatic systems like their Polar Stars and their jack setups. So keeps them price-wise very cheap, compact, and you're going to get the shots that obviously a small bottle is going to give you, not something that a big bottle is going to give you, but for the price, you're going to get quite a bit out of it. Now, weight-wise, these two bottles right here, make sure we get that down there. There we go. So this one is kind of a glare right there, isn't there? That's better. This one's under a pound, 15 ounces right there. And this one is 1 pound, 11 ounces, right? So this one's almost twice as heavy, getting close to, it's about 3 ounces off of a pound of that one. But a typical setup like this on a gun, you're not going to notice the weight. Especially if you're putting it in a pack or something like that, you're definitely not going to notice the weight on those. Now the regulators, it is rebuildable. You can pull it out. It runs on a shim stack. It has the ball reg seat to the bottom of it. One thing I didn't look at though is if that reg seat is removable. So let's pull one open and you can kind of see the inside of it. 2 set screws on the top. Obviously, if you are doing any kind of maintenance to a tank like this, you want to make sure that it is completely void of air before you start taking it apart. So set screws are out. We can pull our bonnet off. Pulling the bonnet off. We did leave some shims up in there. Let's see if we can make sure that those do come out. They do. So we're no shims left in the bonnet or in the gas block. We can grab the piston, wiggle it, and pull it out. There, we've got our valve, our shim stack, and they are using some thin shims in between there to get their pressure up. So you could actually adjust some of this pressure. If you pulled these thin shims out of here, you could reduce the output pressure. And output pressure is about 850 on these. So you could pull those out and drop it down a little bit, maybe another 75 to 100 PSI. But let's look through here. I'm looking at the bottom. I'm looking to see if there's a hole going all the way through from top to bottom so that you can actually pop this little seat out and replace it with a new one. And it doesn't look like there is. So if your reg seat ever goes bad, you are going to need to replace the entire piston. But it's very rare that a reg seat goes bad or that it can't be saved if there's a little bit of debris. That's usually what causes these to go bad. Any of these ball reg seat styles is that they have some sort of debris on them, causing them not to seal properly in the bottom of the gas block. So O-rings are replaceable. These top and bottom ones, no problem. You can find those in pretty much any reg rebuild kit. So it's nice to have a good rebuildable regulator in a cheap bottle like this, especially one with a shim stack setup like this rather than just a spring setup, because these will be more consistent and be more consistent over a longer period of time as well. Let's put it back together real quick. You can see how easy they are to take apart. Easy to take apart, easy to rebuild. So these are the GOG 13 cubic inch and GOG 26 cubic inch bottles. Roughly 150 to 200 shots, 350 to 400 shots or so, give or take, depends on the gun. They're available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.